that are subscribed and seen my other videos, you'll see that I've created a dashboard for LiveKit. This means no more SSH, going into scripts, doing text-based stuff. Everything is graphical user interface. Biggest problem I've had, everybody asking me, how do I do the knowledge base on the system? So what I did is I integrated knowledge base into the dashboard directly. So let's install the new knowledge base and show you how it works. So this will take a little bit of time to install, depending on your server load and what your other server is doing. But there we go. My server's only a 4 gigabyte RAM. Qdrant is already installed. As you see here, the recommended the recommended memory size, 320 megabytes minimum. But it's currently less. So what we can actually do is go to the settings and change this resource to suit what we actually want it to. So we go system resources. And then you can see here, Qdrant's going there as a different system service. So Qdrant, 320 meg, but we want this to, currently it's 256 meg, but we want it to 320 meg. So all we do is go into here and go apply. This edits it and gives it the recommended storage space that we need. Save and restart. You can see up the top, memory is updated, press OK. Wait for a little bit, it'll reset the server. Qdrant service will be reset, the dashboard will be reset. There you go. Now we're in here, we can see Qdrant. It's only using 14.6 meg at the moment, and it's got 320 meg to actually be used. Also from this area, I can also update any Docker. So from here too, you can see here I've got the update option. So these are all Docker containers, each one running independently. And from here, I can also update to the latest version of them. I can set the memory or I can reset the service as well. So we go back to knowledge base. So from here, I can select my provider. So OpenAI, Google AI Studio, or Google Vertex AI. So I'll use the Vertex AI one. That's my local model. It's in Sydney, so instead of all my data going to USA, it's only in Sydney. So we're talking maybe 30 milliseconds instead of 300 milliseconds. Select the model to do it. Results per search, 5 is pretty much standard. You could get it down to 3 if you know that it's So in here, results per search, 5. You could probably lower this to 3 if you really needed to. Everything else leave as default. Save config. So this means any new collections that I set will use these settings. Create a collection. So a collection's like a new knowledge base for this particular client. So let's go test knowledge base. You could give it a description as well. Hit create. So this will create the collection. There we go. And you can see here I can delete it and add and remove documents. So if I click this one, I can add a document. So I go choose, test knowledge base data. I want to upload that. Go upload. So at the moment, you can do text documents, CSV documents, or PDF documents, max 10 meg. So there we go. That's already uploaded. Then I can actually test it to see if it works. So you see here, I've got a test search. So I've basically just added a bunch of random information into a knowledge base like I would normally do for a client. So what we could do, okay, I want to know the website. So I could ask in the thing, so what is your website address? This will search. And then based on probability, the higher the percentage, the higher the information is correct or not. So I could also ask, what is the site address for Castle Hill? So you can see here another whole bunch of information. So depending on what model you use, obviously the searches will be slightly different with the semantic searching. The big thing that I recommend is instead of just having a whole bunch of data in there, is to do a lot of frequently asked questions. So, what's my address? What's my email address? What's the operating hours? How much is it for my service? All those common questions. do them as a knowledge base entry. So at least that way. Let me bring that in. So you can see here at the end. So this goes through. This is obviously all just random information that I've made up, but do you have a nutritionist? Can you help me with diet? All those sort of things. So if I ask that question, it's going to know what the answer is because I've given it the answer. So if we go into here, use that as one of our questions. Search. So here you go. So here's basically the answers for that question. Do you have a nutritionist, which is the one that we looked at in there? So 75% chance this chunk is correct, is what it's saying. So that's exactly the question we ask, and that's the answer Wordage will give. So in the voice AI system, obviously, it would have the information that's required. Adding this into an actual agent, we go into tools, and I need to add this tool into the agent. So in here, I can see the search knowledge base option. So again, in the agent, how many max results do we actually want to do? I would probably do 3. Then the agents that we've got installed on our server, config, I want to then go, okay, I want to add the search knowledge base to this agent. Done. Now we can go to the agent, edit, scroll down in our prompts. So in our prompts, we've got reference information. So this is basically common information that you want the agent to know instantly and all the time. So in here is a whole bunch of random information. So if I ask the phone number, it's actually part of the prompt, and it'll always be part of the prompt, which means it can recall this information fast, but it also means that it takes up our context window as well. So in here, I would only put information that is asked all the time. So every 5th call, somebody asks the email address, well, then we'll put it into here instead of doing the knowledge base search all the time. In here, so I've only assigned it to one agent, so I can go, okay, that's my only RAG that I've actually selected, or my knowledge base. I select that. It automatically adds in here a section for a prompt of when it's going to use the knowledge base. So when the user asks about specific details or facts or documented information, use this search knowledge base tool to look up accurate answers before responding. So in here, I could also put other information, whatever. It could be whatever you want it to actually do, but this is just the default. I can obviously change this to make the agent use the knowledge base whenever I feel like it. Hit update. Wait for the agent to reset, and away we go. Let's do a test call to actually see how it works.
Hello, thanks for calling Tronic Medical on a recorded line. How can I help you today?
Hey, how you doing? Do you have a nutritionist on site?
Hey there. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. That's a wonderful question. Let me look that up for you to give you accurate information. Great news. Yes, we do offer nutrition counseling here at the clinic. Our qualified nutrition practitioners can help you develop a sustainable eating plan tailored to your health goals, whether that's recovery, weight management, or managing a chronic condition. They work with you to understand the connection between diet and your overall health. Before I get you booked in, I'd love to collect a few details from you. Can I get your full name first?
My name's Troy.
Perfect, Troy. Just to confirm, is that Troy?
Yep.
Wonderful. And what's your phone number, Troy?
0427 127 127.
Got it. So that's 0427 127 127. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Excellent. And finally, could I get your email address, Troy?
Troy@gmail.com.au.
Perfect. So that's troy@gmail.com.au. Is that right?
That's correct.
Wonderful, Troy. I've got all your details. Just to confirm everything. Name, Troy. Phone, 0427 127 127. Email, troy@gmail.com.au. Now, you're interested in our nutrition counseling services. Can you tell me a bit more about what brings you in? Are you looking to work on a specific health goal, or is there something particular you'd like help with?
That's it. That's all I need to know. Thank you.
You're welcome, Troy. I've got everything I need. I'll make sure our nutrition team gets your details, and they'll be in touch with you soon to get you booked in for a consultation. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it. Bye.
Things that's worth noting before I end this video is I've also added AI synthesis. So basically what this does is instead of giving the full vector output, it then uses AI to smooth through it and basically just give you the direct answer. So for example, I go so in here, I've got it that you can basically select the model and everything you want. The synthesis prompt, you can obviously edit that if you need to, but otherwise it's already in there as default. But if I go into here and then say search, do you have a website? Hit search. It basically looks through the RAG and then comes back with the vector answers. So these are basically the most common 5 vector answers based on their percentage as well. So what's your phone number is obviously in there, but the problem is this will all be sent to the actual AI voice agent, increasing its actual context. So we don't want it to obviously have context overflow. So the best way to do this is obviously smooth it out with AI, so it's only getting the answer. So if I turn the AI synthesis on and I ask it the same question, it obviously takes a little bit longer for it to actually come back with the answer because it's obviously got to use all this data, go to AI, find the answer, come back again. But the difference is now this will only be sent to the AI. So yes, summitphysio.com, but I can take your details now and our team can call you back to help with your booking or answer any questions. So basically, at least this way, it's a direct answer that gets fed back to the voice AI, and then you don't get context bloat. One other thing you can do in the knowledge base is instead of just uploading fixed files, PDFs, text files, those sort of things, you can also do a URL as well. So what I often do for clients is I'll create a shared Google Doc. I have access to that. They have access to that. And then basically the URL of that shared doc, I give it full access and then just enter it into here. I can also set when I want it to scan again. So in here, 12 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours. So this is how often it'll actually look back at that URL and then update it. So if the client then, if I get it to check every 24 hours, the client updates the knowledge base file on the Google Doc. This will then update in 24 hours and basically have all the new data in there without you doing anything. So that's basically it for the knowledge base. Thanks for your time.